course, my head will start itching right when I start recording. Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your boy X. Welcome to Spiritual X-Men Experiences. Wakanda forever. All right. Cancer. We're going to do end of May, going into June. I didn't get to get y'all in May. So, that's how we're going to tie both of those in together, make them all cohesive. How y'all been doing? You been doing good? Doing great? Got Cancer in my chart. I know y'all been a little... Last night was exhausting for a lot of you guys. I won't necessarily say last night, but like today you feel a little bit more rejuvenated, tired, doing a lot, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. Whatever it is, you must have got a good night's sleep. You know, I don't feel like you took like a 5-hour energy drink or something. It's serene, it's peaceful. I dig that. I dig that. Digs it, I digs it, I digs it. Take a second, just listen to that though. Not the people going woohoo, but the ocean. Man, I'm telling you, something about water. Something about water. No, that's not the. I think those are clouds in the background. Yeah, you guys can't see it, but when I edit it, I'm gonna take a video and edit it in there so y'all can see what I get to see. All right, we're gonna go ahead and jump in here. All right, Spirit and a lot of divine only to come on through. What do we have for Cancers for the end of May? Cancers for the end of May. Okay, first card out, the Hunter. Oh, I like that number though, 27, yes. Reflection, completions, and completions. Spiritual completions with completions, because 2 plus 7 equals 9. So you definitely took some time to reflect, go within. You know, 2 is in Hinduism, it's a number of reflection, because it gives the mirror image. You have 1 and 1. 1 and 1 equals what? 2. And they are exactly alike, so it's a reflection. So you've been definitely reflecting. Take your time to reflect. Bears standing out to me. The Eagles. Bears are, I'm getting a mama bear. Bears are very nice, you know, cuddly creatures. You know, that's why we give our kids teddy bears. We had Yogi the bear and, what's the one bear to prevent forest fires? Yeah, him, you know. And Winnie the Pooh, you know, everybody likes bears. If you go out in nature, bears are very serene and peaceful, you know. They just... When it's a mother bear, they definitely do whatever they will have to do to protect their cubs, even if that's being a little, you know, aggressive. Sometimes they come off very, because let's take it in nature. Let's say you're camping, and a bear happens to come along, and of course, it sees you. It's like, okay, what are you about? You know, that this is my home, you know. I get that, you know, you're here, you're visiting, all that good stuff. And they don't necessarily like the best defense to a bear is to just, you know, lay down and or be very, very passive with them, because any too harsh of a step, they get very hesitant. It's like, okay, instant protection mode. They're quick to go into protection mode because they have to protect theirs and them, which is understandable. But, you know, a lot of times, you know, bears end up getting shot and killed and hurt and wounded because of that, because, you know, we see them as, okay, well, now you're threatening me, when the bear is like, okay, well, I feel like you're threatening me. Like, you made this quick move, then you went to go and grab your bow and arrow or your, gun or your fishing pole or whatever it is, you're camping with. So now they stand up on what? On their two legs and they tower over us like, oh, okay. Like okay, now you come before me. And it leads to a confrontation that doesn't necessarily mean to go into a confrontation. It's just like, okay, I need to stand my ground, and the human is like, okay, well, I need to stand my ground, and it just ends up in a completely bad situation for both. Either the bear attacks or the human attacks. Either way, that's usually how it ends up going, or they both end up attacking. It's very seldom, because especially with a mama bear and it has cubs, it has to defend itself, and not necessarily for itself, but to protect its cubs. But like taming the bear, mama bear is back to her normal, sorry, all the science words, but homeostasis, and balance, and she's chilling, not aggressive or anything. Then we have the ego. So with taming the bear, so we're gonna go with bear as emotions. So through taming your emotions, I gotta sit like this now. Through taming your emotions, you're able to find that inner wisdom, that inner strength, that inner guidance to be able to see it all, to see the full picture, the full spectrum, and being able to gain control over yourself, not the external environment, because animals are very instinctual. We have the superiority over them as humans is because we can balance our emotions, and we don't have to go off of just pure instincts. We do, oh, look, a butterfly. A white butterfly at that. Google spiritual meaning of a white butterfly. What butterflies mean? Evolution changes. But, we have that capacity to be able to see the whole picture and not just react off of instincts, the whole Darwin, eat or be eaten. That's how it is in the jungle. The jungle is rough, but it's moving out of that survival, that necessity to feel like I'm only surviving to get to the next phase, just to live. Like you're not living. Like for an animal, survival is living. For humans, it's not. We're not meant to just survive. We're meant to actually live, to enjoy, everything through our emotions, and gaining clarity and wisdom and a higher perspective and guidance through that. Is that an elk or deer antlers? I feel like it's an elk. I'm going to look that up. The spiritual meaning of an elk. Okay, getting a lot of animal science going on. But through that, you're able to, cool. You're able to become the magician within your own life and shape your environment the way that you want to see it, the way that you choose to see it, by shifting your perspectives and seeing the bigger picture in every side, or more than one side. And even if it's something that you're like, oh, I see all of these different sides, and somebody comes along and points up like, oh, well, dang, well, there's a whole nother one. Thank you for teaching me, because a leader, because we're all leaders in a certain way or form, even in the smallest aspects. If somebody is only 2 years older than their next sibling, that they're still a form of a leader. But even still, we're leaders within our own lives, within our own paths, within our own careers, with, you know, whatever it is that, you know, we have within us. And it leaders also, a good leader also knows when to follow and when to learn, because nobody knows everything. Nobody's going to know everything in the world. You know, Gandhi didn't even know everything. Mother Teresa didn't know everything. They were good and excelled in the area that they excelled in, but, you know, they didn't know rocket science. They wasn't a mathematician. You know, they didn't know anything about the automobile industry, but it doesn't make them any less than what they were. You know, they just knew, like, that ain't my area, that ain't my lane. I'm gonna go here and stick with what it is that I know how to do. I'm a master of that. And through that, through mastering the things and having a passion for being able to lead your own life and be in control of your own life, you're able, and it was 11/11, you were able to essentially control your external environment to a certain degree. I feel like with we'll call it the shadow side, you know, the bear that was going off of instincts, because it's light around it. You found a way to transmute that, to use that, because I mean, our shadow side is still a part of us. So it doesn't necessarily mean that, oh, we have to like kill off our shadow side or not use it. You know, that's one thing, like when we first go through an spiritual awakening and go through, you know, this journey and first coming, you know, in there definitely are phases. You know, at first, when I first got on there, I was like, okay, I'm not going to the bar. I ain't hanging around this type of people. I'm not. It was, you know, you get that overload. It's just because you feel this amazing sense of freedom and purity that, you know, you're subconsciously aware that you have no idea how to maintain this. And besides just like isolating and being very strict about who you're around and who you let in, because it feels so awesome and so great and free, like anything you've never felt before. You end up going a little bit overboard, and it by all means it's not intentional. You know, for most it's not intentional. You know, you're just like, I can't lose this. I've never felt this before a day in my life. Like, nope, I'm not. Nope, I know I'm not. Okay, I'm not supposed to do that. Okay, I'm not going to do that. But it eventually that wears off. You're like, okay, you learn how to be able to channel that unlimited source of light, that protection around your aura and your energy. So, you know, you can't just avoid every situation. I mean, you can, but it's not necessarily avoidance that's, you know, the answer. I mean, you can if you choose to. You know, I can't tell you what to do. You can avoid everything, but what quality of life would that be? You know, then you're not opening yourself up to the other perspectives, the other points of views, and the beautiful differences that are in the world, is essentially, you know, especially becoming spiritual, because you most of us find a realization in the fact that the other religions and practices and beliefs are different, but essentially they're all necessarily the same, because they're all trying to reach the same end goal, which is to the pursuit of happiness and being happy and free, and not intentionally causing any hurt, pain, or trauma to anyone else. Now, it's not saying, you know, we're going to be perfect and not cause anybody any hurt or pain. No, but it's the intentions behind that. Like, you're not intentionally trying to do anything, you know. And you know, even with the best intentions, you can have the best intentions in mind, and either for yourself or for whatever the circumstance is, and people can still end up hurt, you know. It is what it is. And, you know, if those situations or people are meant to be around, you know, they're going to evolve. You're going to evolve and be like, hey, you know what, yep, I did this. You're like, yeah, you know what, yeah, you did do this, but I also did this. And, you know, you're going to be able to, you know, find that balance, find that find that balance, find that peace within the situation. So I feel like that through life, through whatever experiences has led up during this reflection, you've been able to find that balance, that peace, to be like, oh, okay, well, I can find my peace. I am the eye of the storm wherever I go, because there's going to be chaos, confusion everywhere. Like when you get in your car and you get in traffic and rush hour, there's nothing but chaos and confusion. You just, nope, I'm not about to feed into all these energies. You turn to some music and you jam out, you know. Or you start thinking like, okay, well, what am I gonna cook for dinner, or whatever. But you're not stressed out about, okay, well, I'm in traffic. There's nothing I can do about that. Still gotta get to where I gotta go. I'm already here. There's no point in me to feed into all of that, because me being upset that the traffic is going slow isn't gonna make it speed up any faster. So, it was also, where was I going with that? Oh yeah, it was finding like a outlet for that shadow side, because our shadow side is good. Like, let's say if you're an instinctually protective person, and instead of like putting a cage around your situations and your life and the people that you love and care about, whether it be family, friends, whatever the case may be, you actually found like an outlet for that. Let's say like if you're a highly protective person, you started taking, a little buggy's crawling on me, it was a little itchy. You started taking karate, or you found something that you're able to use those instincts, but in a higher way. Like, let's say you went and became a police officer or a firefighter, things of that nature. So you can use those instincts for the highest good for yourself and everybody else in those situations. Or let's say, you're very investigative. You like to kind of, get into people's business a little bit. It's not that, you try to, but let's say, it used to get you caught up in a lot of trouble. So then now you're like, okay, well, now you went and became a detective. Or you started reading cards. That's a good way to get in people's mix without coming off, offensive or gossiping, so to speak, or let's see what else, or a scientist, or a freelance journalist or something. I don't know. I'm reaching, but y'all get me. Y'all get it though. And through that, you were able to gain that clarity and that wisdom through that reflection time, which brought you a sense of completion, a stable foundation, and spiritual completeness of the mind, body, and soul. Your masculine, feminine, and your soul all together in one. Because 2 reflections, 7 is 3 plus 4, so 4 foundations, 3 the Trinity, and equals 7. And then through that, you came to a completion. You ended a cycle. I feel like it was very karmic. You ended like a life cycle is what I'm hearing. A life cycle, a big life cycle. Okay, we're at 18 minutes. Next, we got the spiral in reverse. Now, with the spiral in reverse, what I'm getting from this card right now is all your chakras coming back into alignment. There was a lot of chaos, a lot of hectic, a lot of stuff externally to you that you necessarily couldn't control, didn't have a way to control it, from kind of spiraling out, but you were still able to find peace, to find balance. You didn't go down the hole. Like, you're at the top of that. You didn't go down the rabbit hole. You seen it. You're just like, okay, I see that for what that is, but nope, I'm not going to feed into it. There's nothing I can do about it. And through that, you were able to constantly realign yourself. And I mean, that's something that's a continuous lifelong process. We're going to be tested in many ways, in many different situations. Some that we're accustomed to, it's like, I see that coming, and others, you can start getting into that mix. Like, wait, okay, hold on, wait, Let me take 2 steps back and let me just, okay, woo side on out, but whatever was going on, I feel like it was definitely external while you were coming out of your own hole internally. Like, the more you balanced and grounded yourself in yourself and who you were and your capabilities and everything that you can control within yourself, with nothing externally, everything externally was going haywire and chaotic and trying to undo everything that you've worked so hard up until now to do with yourself. But you didn't allow that to happen. You saw the spiral, you saw it for what it was, and you just watched it spiral. Like, well, I mean, I'm just gonna do what I can do, and I mean, that's about it. Sometimes you kind of, slid down a little bit. It's like, let me climb right back on up, because you get too far down there, it's a long ass climb back up. And that definitely caused a change to be reflected into your external environment. So things externally started to actually just become resolved, started to balance out. Like, and you're kind of still like, huh? Like, your mind was more so in protective hyper vigilance mode, but emotionally and spiritually, you were at peace because you've had experiences so far up until now that you knew that you were the magician within yourself, and that you could control at least yourself and how it is that you respond and you react and what you respond and react to. But externally, you could, do what you can to try to maintain, but nothing really more than that. You basically did what you had to do, and I mean, you kind of sat back and looked at everything else like, well, and I feel like, everybody else was kind of like either pushing you or rushing you or pulling you this way or that way. You were just like, no, thank you, but no, thank you. That's not what I'm being led to do. Okay, when y'all figure that out, then you come on back to me. Or, okay, well, you guys seem a little confused, so when y'all sort that out, I'ma just be chilling over here, where it's like, okay, well, you guys, people were, I feel like, a lot of pressure. You had good pressure, and then you had another group that had negative pressure. And regardless of what the other group or situations or people that had that more so negative pressure, you always still was able to hire and raise yourself with what it is that you learn so far, as well as bringing on the new knowledge and wisdom and guidance that you had, and being able to mesh that together within your world, and really being able to be at a sense of peace and balance. That is awesome. Which is 50 brought some changes. Okay, Coyote, we have the Coyote in reverse. So with the Coyote in reverse, this one I'm getting like through like trying to be nurturing, trying to getting that cunning energy, like one-upmanship. Coyotes are very competitive, they're very cunning. Oh, 9 of Pentacles. But I'm getting more so the negative aspects of that. It's like, yes, it's good to do that, but like that this is going back to the first card, like I was saying, like I'm getting the shadow side of the Coyote. And through like with everything that was going on externally, you didn't use any of those tactics besides in the areas that that you found a way to use them for their highest good. You didn't use those in every situation, and you used them for those particular situations and circumstances, and that was it, and nothing more. And not saying that, oh, it was it wasn't malicious, it wasn't it wasn't revengeful, it wasn't overly protective, it wasn't to try to win. It wasn't anything like that. And through that, you were able to build a stable foundation, which is cool because that's literally right in the middle because we have 5 cards here. And this is where I feel like we're going more into June right here. Like this is the changing point right here, and going into the month of June. You definitely found an outlet. You found an outlet for yourself for when you do get stressed, for, you know, because, you know, we're not all going to have, you know, perfect days and be able to maintain that balance. But it's finding an outlet when you do feel yourself getting to that point, or, you know, you actually, you know, slip down a little bit halfway into the rabbit hole. You're like, okay, no, you see it, you catch it, and you're able to do something to bring yourself out, so you're not repeating anything, especially lessons that you know that you've already learned. Now the seashell that I happened to find just popped up in my head, and the crazy thing about it, it looks like tiger's eye. Look at that. So we're gonna put that right there. Well, that's awesome. Got the Empress. Well, that's definitely some Empress energy right there with what was being said. Ace of Swords, cutting out stuff that just didn't serve, and being able to balance it like an Empress. That's what I'm talking about. One that's taking a new step into a reflection point, in a way that not only do you see yourself, but how you see others, how you see your surrounding, how you see your environment, how you see things around you. Okay, and this is going into June. All right, that's a great way to start the month. Sorry for all the movement. The sun's coming out. Next we have the Sacrifice. Definitely made a lot of sacrifices already to this point, and you're already, I feel like mentally, emotionally, you've already made a sacrifice, and now you just actually have to walk the path of it, is what I'm getting. And that brings a magical change. There's a butterfly, and it has, like, it looks like little confetti pieces and stuff around there. You know, I saw a magic show with a magical transformation, a magical evolutionary change. Something, you know, big. Not necessarily that the step that you have to take is big. I mean, it might be a big step, but it's nothing that is like so big or so dramatic that it really completely shakes you up and knock you, you know, off your balance or kilter or anything. It's just, I feel like what's to come after that or during that is what's really going to be like, give it that wow. And you have 44. Stable foundation, internally and externally. We get 1-4 internally, 1-4 externally. Where that 4 is exactly, I don't know. We're going to get the cards to clarify. But I feel like whatever the sacrifice is, it's definitely for the highest good. For not just for you, but for, oh, I just saw like a rainbow. No, there's not a rainbow out, but I looked up and it was like a perfect rainbow. Like, that's cool. That's cool. That's cool. Same, man. Love when that happens. Next we have with this sacrifice, the Knight of Swords popped out. So it's definitely going to be some cutting. It may seem like harsh, but I don't feel like it's going to be. I feel like it's more stern, not necessarily harsh. I'm getting, it needs to be done, it needs to be said, it needs to be handled. 4 plus 4 is 8, and there goes another butterfly. So that ain't some confirmation. The next we have Taming the Wind. see that with the, okay. Phone is glaring on my end, so you may be able to see it, may not. Sorry, my bad. You have Taming the Wind and a hummingbird. You're not just floating with the wind. Oh wow, the world. Who wanted to come out? That's what's up. Page of Pentacles. All right. You're not just flowing with the wind. You know when to flow. You know when not to flow. You know when to go with things. You know when not to go with things. You know when you need to plant and stay firm and stand your ground, so to speak. And I'm not talking about stand your ground law, and then you start like firing at people. No, I mean literally just, you know, be like, no, this is my conviction, and stick it with it. You know when, and then you know when to be like, okay, you know that adaptability, that fluency to be like, okay, let me go with this. Let me just go with that, and that's 55. Okay, 2 master numbers. You know, double numbers. Double numbers is awesome. It's 10. That's a completion. So maybe that was something hard. You know, you never really necessarily. That's definitely going to. I feel like it's going to completely end a karmic way of life. And the being 55 and that equals 10, I feel like it's definitely going to end a karmic way of life. That may be, you know, the last thing, which I feel like you're already starting to embody that energy, but it is going to be, you know, a little bit more to help you completely take on that energy. The Sacrifice, Knight of Wands. Definitely moving quickly, passionately, with whatever the sacrifice is, or that's going to happen or take place. Not playing no games, moving quick. Page of Cups. Whatever their sacrifice is, you were looking into your heart, you're moving quickly, but it's definitely going to bring a sense of emotional fulfillment. And I feel like that's what you were worried about, but not just for you, but for whoever else is involved. I feel like it might be another person, not necessarily saying like family or something like that. Friends. And we have the 4 of Wands in reverse. So it was a passionate foundation that has definitely came to an end. Maybe you know, at the beginning there was a lot of passion. I don't feel like it's the situation that's I'm gonna clarify before I even. But whatever sacrifice is, there is definitely a foundation that was built off of passion, which, you know, passion is not anything that can maintain a foundation. So the fact that it is in reverse, it had to crumble. It had to come to an end. And that you have the Knight of Pentacles. So something that's coming over the Page of Cups. So something that is a page emotionally, but is coming in quickly into fruition, into the physical. You have the Strength in reverse with the Page of Swords in reverse. So let's get the okay. You knew you had to, I feel like it's not necessarily strength, but like a form of control that you thought was going to bring you a sense of completion, because the 9 of Pentacles came out in reverse. That is ending. Oh, okay. So whatever this situation, whatever the sacrifice that is going to, because I feel like it's in the starting stages now, but it's really going to come about in June or in the near future, that you were strong, you know. It at first it was something that did embody strength, and it was you know, your what it is that you know you had wished for in the 3D, but you come to find out that over, I feel like it was definitely something over a length of time that it just was not it. I Before I speak on it, oh yeah, I was gonna say it feel like karmic-y, a karmic connection. We have the Empress in reverse when the ass spirit was so karmic. Yeah, it was definitely it's ending of a karmic cycle, of a karmic foundation that was built, and with the end of it, the star card. So it's definitely gonna be some wishes coming true, some wishes coming into fruition with the ending of this karmic cycle. Oh, okay. Ten of Swords in reverse and Nine of Swords in reverse. It's definitely going to end a lot of baggage that I don't feel like you've already relinquished this baggage, but it's going to bring it into, with the Ten of Swords and the Nine, it's going to bring it into completeness of just 100% just done. Like, you're already done and away from it, and, you know, healed. But whatever the star card is really going to, whatever is being released is going to make space for whatever is coming in, which is a wish come true. Or it could be vice versa. This person, the other might not be you, might be the other person ending something, and then they see you as a wish come true, however the case may be, but it's going to completely obliviate whatever the karmic cycle tie, whatever it's going to completely obliviate it. Like, I'll just put it like this: you're not ever going to. It's like eating Taco Bell and then eating real Hispanic food, and you're just like, oh, I ain't never going back. Like, you don't even think about it. Like, it just automatically just completely change your world. Yes, I use food. Leave me alone. Y'all know I like food. Oh yeah. Well, that's what's up. We just gonna leave that at that. I'm not even gonna dig in anymore. We gonna leave it at that. I feel like that's a good way to end this right here. Oh yeah. Let's see. I'm gonna take a peek though at, give y'all a little snippet into the extended version. What we gonna touch base on what else, Spirit, the guides that you need to work on to help bring all this in, because that's beautiful, that's wonderful. So let's see. Let's take a sneak peek into the upper room. Oh, okay. Man, I should have wore a beater, yo. Like, dude, and do that. I didn't think that it was going to get this blazing. It was nice. It was just it was cloudy, so I was like, okay, you know, going around showing all my skins. And it's a little nipply out here, you know. And then the sun broke through and made way. Let's see. All right, Spirit, what do we have going to the upper room? Okay. Okay, Spirit. Definitely got something to tell y'all. Don't let that come on out. Karma releasing. Well, definitely gonna increase awareness. Really? Yeah, these cards don't get ready in reverse. White Eagle. So we have Saint Germain, Karma Releasing, Master Buddha, Increased Awareness, White Eagle, Ancestor Spirit, and the Holy Spirit, Expect Miracles. So if you want to go on up and ascend into the upper room, all the instructions are below in the drop box and how to access the extended version. And I'm going to catch y'all later. Peace, gel, and hair grease.